Hi, I'm Alex, and these are some of my all-time favorite dessert recipes. So this fun fact is actually one of my all-time favorite desserts. As a kid, my sister can attest, we used to make this all the time. It was the best. We'd keep it in the freezer, eat it all week long. Oh my God, it's so good. I know it seems basic, but trust me, there is nothing better than this like frozen peanut butter pie. I used to make this pie with a graham cracker crumb crust, which you can absolutely do. But for this tasty video, I decided to switch it up and use chocolate sandwich cookies. So the crust is super simple. It's just some cookie crumbs and butter. And then you line the pan with that. And then you're just gonna bake that quickly to set. So now on to the delicious part. Every part is delicious, but this is like the most delicious part. So this filling is almost like a frozen mousse kind of thing. So we're lightening up the peanut butter with cream cheese and whipped cream and powdered sugar. Gets this like light and fluffy texture. So we're making like a peanut butter mousse. So you definitely want to use softened cream cheese here. Cream cheese is a little bit tricky to work with because it can often get pretty lumpy. So we're breaking down the process of mixing up this filling. So then you're gonna pour that filling right onto your already baked cookie crust. Smooth that out. Get a nice little design on there. You could like kind of like add some little things. Do you know what I mean? Like add some swirls, like do you. It's like an art project almost, you know?
Like a Gangnam style.
Gangnam style. Rie says it looks like a Gangnam style. Wait, how do they do that again? Is it that? Do you know the dance? Whoopa Gangnam style. Oh no, it's like that, right? So this is what you want to do to your pie. So Whoopa Gangnam style your pie. And then you're just gonna pop it in the freezer to set. The hardest part, because you have to wait. There's like something that happens in the freezer, magic or science, where this pie sets, but like, it's so much better than even just like a cooled pie, like the frozen aspect of it. It's like the perfect, like silky, ice creamy, yet not quite as dense consistency. And now all you have left to do is top it. So I just spanked myself. So I topped this with a little bit more of those crushed cookie crumbs that we used for the base. But again, if you were using the graham cracker crust, you could do whatever you want. You could even just not top it with anything because it's delicious as is, but there you go. If you love me as much as I love this pie, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Actually, fun fact, this is what the team made for me my first birthday at Tasty because I knew how much I love this pie. Y'all already know how much I like banana bread and cheesecake. This is just same but different. So this is actually a sequel recipe from a recipe that Alvin had made for a cookies and cream stuffed bundt cake. Bundt pans were kind of like a thing. So I wanted to play around with a bundt pan and a new flavor, I guess an old flavor, but a strong flavor in a new way. So because I'm obsessed with banana bread and cheesecake, I decided to go with banana bread and cheesecake. How original. So the banana bread for this is classic, one I've used for a lot of different videos at this point. The way we're switching it up here is the method. So baking it in a bundt pan and filling it with the cheesecake. So of course, for any banana bread, you should use ripe bananas. The darker, the better. This will just make sure they had all of that natural sweetness that you want in your banana bread. Never throw away your black bananas. So a tip from Alexis is that if you have dark bananas that are getting too dark and you don't feel like making a banana bread at that point, store them in the freezer. Don't throw them away. That's banana blasphemy. So again, super simple. You're gonna pour your banana bread batter into a greased bundt pan. If you don't have a bundt pan, I don't know what to tell you. Then you can't do this recipe because it specifically calls for a bundt pan. I like big buns and I cannot lie. Spread that out to make sure it's all in an even layer. Then you're gonna bring in your cheesecake filling that we already made and was cooling. Spread that out with a spatula and then pour the rest of your banana bread batter on top. While you're baking your bun, you're gonna make the caramel, which will go on top of this bun cake, which is something you should not skip because it really puts this one over the edge. So for the caramel, you're gonna start by cooking down your sugar. You wanna make sure it gets all golden brown and caramelized before you add the butter in. So throw in the butter, that'll melt down, transfer it off the heat, and then throw in the heavy cream. Once the caramel's all mixed up, it might be a little loose, but once you cool it down, it will thicken right up. So now that our cake is all baked, it's time for the fun part. Flipping it over should pop right out if you remember to grease your pan. And then you just pour your caramel drizzle right all over that thing. So this recipe is pretty fun because it's like a stuffed cake ring. So it's not actually like cheesecake, more as like a cheesecake filling. So it's still like the flavor of a cheesecake, that tanginess and sweetness. You don't have to set it like you would have to set a cheesecake because it's just the filling. This was really, really quite delicious, I have to say. I've done a banana bread bottom cheesecake. I've done a banana bread ice cream cake. I do a lot of banana things. It's one of my favorites. I love a good cream puff. So this is a recipe I actually made around Valentine's Day because it's kind of like sexy. So we had done a couple of different variations of cream puffs. So I decided to do just another variation of a cream puff. And I thought it was really cute to do a strawberries and cream puff, but then take it a step further with a chocolate strawberries and cream puff. A lot of plays on words here. So cream puffs can be a little bit tricky to make, but if you break it down, it's really not too difficult. It just takes some time, but it's Valentine's Day. Well, it's not Valentine's Day, but like if it was Valentine's Day, which is what this recipe was intended for, then you should be willing to put in a little extra time, right? So I started by making this filling because it's gonna need time to kind of cool. So this is like a basic cream puff, like a custardy filling. So this custard filling is egg yolks, heavy cream, sugar, and cornstarch. So once the custard starts to thicken up, we're gonna add in those chopped up strawberries, and then we're gonna transfer that into a bowl to cool. I really wanted to use like fresh strawberries because I love fresh strawberries. I just wanted it to be like as close to like chocolate covered strawberry would be, just in kind of a new way. But if strawberries are out of season or you just don't want to use fresh strawberries, you could also replace that with strawberry jam and incorporate strawberry into the filling that way. So now we're gonna move on to the choux pastry, which I've done a lot of times here and it's always a workout, so prepare yourself. But again, you get your final workout in before you go meet your date for Valentine's Day. You just gotta get the method right. You're gonna start on the heat, melting down your butter and your water, and once that's all liquefied, you're gonna add in your flour and start to mix. So you're gonna keep mixing this on the heat until it's like a homogenized dough, and then we're gonna transfer that off and add in vanilla and 1 egg at a time. So you wanna add in the eggs slowly off the heat because you don't want the eggs to cook while you're incorporating them into the dough. It's gonna take some muscle power because you wanna make sure every time you're incorporating an egg that the dough is like fully mixed. So don't move too fast here. Just make sure you're taking your time, make sure you're really incorporating the dough and getting it as smooth as possible. And there you have it. So we're gonna transfer that into a piping bag. I actually did it in a Ziploc bag and didn't even use a tip because it was a little more user-friendly because not everybody has access to a piping bag and piping tips. So you're gonna pipe that dough onto your parchment-lined baking sheet into kind of like a little round thing. If you want to, you can take a finger and get it a little wet and dab down the tips of what you just piped, and that will help you get like a really round, perfectly shaped cream puff. And then we bake. So once you put these in the oven, magic will happen. They should puff up into these cute little round balls of love. Just in time for Valentine's Day. Seriously though, you don't have to make this on Valentine's Day. You can make this whenever you want. Not that I like ever do anything for Valentine's Day. Not bitter or anything. If you want to take me out for Valentine's Day, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And now the fun part, we're gonna fill these little cream puffs with our delicious strawberry custard filling. You're gonna wanna make sure your custard is completely cooled down before you pipe it. So first you're just gonna poke a little bit of a hole in the bottom of the cream puff shell. And then we're gonna take this even further and dip the tops of these cream puffs in some melted chocolate so that they get their chocolate strawberry shell. I'm the puff daddy of cream puffs. I'm the puff mama. Like Puff Daddy, but like Puff Mama.
All right.
I'm Puff Mommy.
Puff Mommy. Puff Mama.
Puff Mama. Okay, who wants to take me on a date?